Oh, I've been waiting. I've been waiting all weekend for this, Prater. You know how Coach Cutter came on here and he gave us Andy Reid's record coming off a bye week?
Yes, sir.
It's like immaculate. Well, Johnny Ballgame, you give me a full weekend to prep for QB1. That's going to be like Andy Reid coming off a bye week. And that's what we're getting into right this second on Prater in the Ballgame. We're joined by QB1, starting quarterback, Boise State, Maddux Madsen, in the ropaint.com studio for the first time, Maddux. And we got a lot of questions to ask you. And first and foremost, just welcome. You got here all right. How things going for you, Mad Dog?
I mean, life's awesome. To get back and with the boys and hang out, life's awesome. This place is sweet. I'm excited to be
You like
here.
the studio?
I do like
Doggy?
the studio. Yeah, it's super like cozy and homey.
We have no presence of Maddux Madsen in here. He's the starting quarterback at Boise State. I think we got some cards.
Wait, are you sure?
I got a card right here on my desk. I got a card.
You have a
Yeah, at least I got a card. Do you have anything?
No, but that card is presence. That works. We had Ashton here. See this little card there?
Yep.
Mad Dog, I had him sign that, and I put that over. I got him to sign a picture before he came in the studio, Prater. So we will hang that in the studio, and we will have a doggy presence moving forward. The team's back together. You were talking about it off the air. What's the vibe been like in the Blameyer, Maddux, with the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, this time of the year, it's kind of weird. The new guys that come in, the transfers, it's a whole new team. I mean, we were talking about it as a house today, like all those old guys being gone. It's extremely different, but it's also super fun. It's because it's another time to like reconnect with people and just start talking like no other. And so, I mean, it is fun. The vibes are awesome in the facility. And everyone's extremely excited just to kind of keep going, I guess.
Maddux, you talk about, or everybody does these 5 a.m. workouts in the off season when nobody's watching. That's what leads to, going to a Fiesta Bowl. Tell Prater and I kind of what those workouts consist of, getting up at 5 a.m., doing all this stuff. How brutal is that?
Yeah. The workouts itself are definitely not easy. But as I guess I was talking about it with some guys yesterday, like we've been able to do this whole like workout routine with Coach Hilgart for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the stuff that we're doing is nothing new. It's just how we're doing it and the intensity level that like it's almost, we saw how it helped us. And so like bring that to another level, which makes it the more difficult part of it. But they're no joke. Yeah, they're not for simple folk, that's for sure.
And what time does that, like, I think you did your first one last Thursday, if I remember Spencer's schedule correctly. It was the first one last Thursday. And what time does the alarm clock go off on days like that?
Yeah, I mean, we actually lift in groups. So if we're lifting with like a combo, which is like linebackers, running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends, we're lifting like 7:45. But those big guys are in the gym at 6 o'clock. They wake up early, and I think they love it. They embrace the early grind. I kind of wish we'd switch because I like to wake up early, get in there, and get out. But I mean, on Friday we'll have a team run together where we start at 6. But when you start at 6, it means you're in there no later than 5:30. So that's the joyous part of it. But it is early for most people. I wouldn't consider it early for myself, but for most people, it would be early. Yeah.
Have you been outside yet? Have you gone on the blue, or has it all been inside? And if you have gone outside, who's the one guy that's taking off his shirt right now?
We haven't been outside.
Okay.
It's kind of difficult with the whole construction going down. We don't even have like a simple path to walk into our indoor.
That's right.
We got to go all the way like this morning. Because like from lift to, we run first and then we'll go lift. And from run to lift, I mean, we're running out of the indoor on like the greenbelt path, and the sun rays are out, and I felt like I was in a movie because like you see the breath of everyone's just running around. But no, we haven't really been outside other than that jog that feels like a mile when we're going from the indoor to the.
Hold that movie thought. I think my partner's got a movie question for you here, so we're gonna get down and dirty and really weird here in a little bit. But just your first impression. You have 16 new players on your roster. You lost, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, life after Ashton Jeanty. But the 10 days that you spent with this group of individuals, this team, what's your first impression of the 2025 Boise State Broncos?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think my first impression personally is everyone that is in the building is there for the right reason. College football is difficult because, in a way, walking around saying I'm like a collegiate athlete kind of gives you some type of cool for people on campus. So we kind of try and keep that away from our team, and I feel like everyone within our team is strictly there for the right reason, and it's to get better and be the best team we can when it comes January, February next year.
That's a great answer, man. I like that. That's a good mindset to have. We're here because we want to be here and we want to win games. I gotta ask you a Jeanty question because, seeing you sat shotgun for the Ashton Jeanty ride of 2024. I mean, nobody had a better, closer view perspective of the season Ashton just had than his quarterback. I mean, you literally had, if you ever write a book, it has to be My View from the Blue or Best View on the Blue, My Season with Ashton Jeanty. I come up with the ideas here, man. But on this, Mad Dog, what was your favorite part of riding shotgun in Ashton Jeanty's season like you did?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my favorite part was just to be able to witness his success firsthand, knowing kind of his whole story, and obviously coming from Italy and being an under-recruited guy when he should have been a 5-star recruit and gone somewhere extremely different because he was ready to play as soon as he got in here. It's cool to me to see all the work that he put in and kind of where it brought him, and being able to see that firsthand. And it was unlike anything I'll probably ever witness in my life.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah.
Maddux Madsen, he's Boise State's quarterback. He's making his in-studio debut, our ropain.com studio. You can check out the interview, KTIK, our app, all of our social media channels, YouTube. You're an international YouTube star right now, Maddux. Let's talk about, and we're going to talk a couple more minutes about the 2024 season. Then we'll take a little bit of a break, and then we kind of dive into your new 25 season with some more specifics. You got a couple new coaches that we'd like to talk about, but what do you think about, what was the one thing that came out of your mind? How do you review the 2024 season from 32,000 feet?
Yeah, I mean, I think the season itself, we were talking about it today, was more than kind of what other people had in minds for us. It's kind of crazy because we were sitting there talking about how we knew how good we were, but it really came to like life when we were in the position we were and like the level of football that we were playing at. And so that's kind of the way I look at it, as if almost not any of us were surprised, but it was a surreal moment to be in the position and have the season that we did, because it hasn't been done in the past few years at Boise State when that was once upon a time the standard.
Oh, top 10 finish. You know how many starting quarterbacks can raise their hand if I said, okay, every Boise State quarterback ever, raise your hand if you've ever finished in the top 10. It's you, it's Kellen, and it's Sobransky. That's the list. No one else has taken this team to a top 10 finish. I mean, I got to ask you this, though. Do you regret not talking to the media after the Fiesta Bowl? I mean, you're the starting quarterback, Doggy. You're the one we want to hear from. You're the leader here. I still don't know what happened with that. I don't know why you made that decision. I guess I'll just ask you right next to me. Why the heck didn't you talk to the media after the Fiesta Bowl loss?
Yeah, I mean, I seriously, I was showered and ready, and I was right there, and I was planning on it, talking to the media, but my family was there. There's people there that I wanted to see. Trail was going, I believe, or Tubes was going, and then I think Trail was going, and then Tubes was next. So that was another 20 minutes where I was just in the mood. The first people I wanted to see was my family. And I mean, I do think that I probably could have said something and approached it better, but at the time being, 20 minutes to me was something I probably could have cherished with my family that came to support that game.
Maddux Madsen, starting quarterback at Boise State. When you lined up against Georgia Southern as the starter, and it was real at that point, it was very, very real. And in your mind, it may have been real for a few months. But, we saw it for the first time. And then as your growth, how do you feel about your personal growth as a quarterback this season from game one to the Fiesta Bowl? Take us through your mind and how you did.
Yeah, I think the growth that I made throughout the year was above my expectations. Obviously, for myself, I have extremely high expectations, and I know that there's room to continuously grow. But from game one to the last, I know that I became a better quarterback, not only making plays, but kind of rallying the guys around me and making those guys around me better as well.
I'm looking at this top 8 list. Boise State came in today in the final AP poll. You're number 8. I think off the top of my head, there's only 3 returning. We know Drew's coming back for Penn State. I think the Arizona State guy's coming back. I think there's going to be 3 top 8 quarterbacks coming back next year. Your stats were incredible. You got Boise State to the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah. And we talked to you before this interview, and you said all questions are fair. But certainly there's a camp out there that doesn't really like Maddux Madsen, or at least skeptical about Maddux Madsen, whether it's a goofy interception in week 3 or your height or whatever it is. How do you address that? And we talked to some other people about that, and it kind of became a storyline this year. Probably more for your family than for you, because you seem like the kind of dude that can handle that really, really well. How do you address that?
Yeah, I know personally, I actually had to have a conversation with all those in my family. I love my grandparents, but my grandparents are probably the worst. And I literally shot a text to my family just saying, like, if I can be the one that doesn't get affected by it, you guys should as well. And so it's funny because I know, like, around my family, I wouldn't let them talk to me about it. But it was cool to see, I guess not cool, but the end of the year, it's kind of just a part of playing quarterback. You have guys that literally are playing in the national championship. Quinn Ewers, to me, is probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in college football. And he was still getting hated on by his fan base. Which
he sucks.
Yeah, it just it surprises me in so many ways. And so it's not something that I can let get to me and affect me in ways. But I know that there's people that, for some odd reason, are just going to shoot me out and dislike me.
Keep leading the league in major statistical categories and winning games. You'll be fine.
It doesn't worry me. The people sitting behind their phones tweeting about me doesn't really faze me.
Do you use it as motivation, or do you use it more to ignore? Do you ignore it, or motivation?
It's just a complete ignorance. I actually deleted Twitter. I know I got on to post a little bit, but I deleted Twitter, get off of it, and I don't really see anything other than that. I mean, you'll see Instagram comments, but like I said, those are people that
taking a break for social media or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Dirk Cutter.
Speaking of social media,
Dirk Cutter was in our this sat in that seat. Or no, he has not been in this studio.
A couple weeks ago.
He's been here once, but last week we had him over the phone, and we asked him a Maddux Madsen question. Hey, we're having Maddux in here. Give us some dirt on your quarterback. Here's what Dirk Cutter said on Idaho Sports Talk.
You obviously spent a lot of time with this cat over the last 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 months. What would you ask him? I mean, not that you don't need to ask him anything, but what do we need to ask him? What's the one little juicy nugget that we need to ask Maddux Madsen? And is his girlfriend off limits? Should we not go there, or should we go there?
Oh, absolutely. You should go there and ask him why in the world he keeps letting her get him on those stupid TikTok videos that he's doing. Hopefully by Tuesday, TikTok might be canceled, might be off the charts by Tuesday, but I'm sure they'll find a new medium for him to do those videos with his girlfriend. But yeah, you definitely need to go there. He can take it. He could take it, but Mad Dog has an awesome personality, an awesome sense of humor. So you guys can get after him, and if once he gets over Shyville, he can give it right back.
Shyville? You're not shy, are you?
I'm not a very shy person, but it's funny you say that, because as soon as you said I asked Coach Cutter for dirt, I knew exactly what he was going to say.
Give us the quick story on this. The TikTok videos, your girlfriend just asks, hey, honey, would you be in this stuff? And you're just being a good sport?
Yeah, it's her personal TikTok. I'm cool with it. I don't let it faze me. But I think it was after, because she was here for a little bit after her season ended. And Coach Cutter came to me. He was like, hey, when does she leave?
Nice.
And I was like, she's going to go home when I go home, when we had that break for Christmas. And he goes, all right, well, real talk right now. If I see one more TikTok of you and her after we find out who we play, I'm starting Max Cutforth.
The Cutforth's probably hearing that for the first time there too. Give us a quick one, and we're coming back with Maddux Madsen here on Prater and the Ballgame.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.
Looking for a new skid steer or mini excavator?
This is our Dollar Loan Center video segment, so you can see a guy. I think he's incognito. I think Mad Dog doesn't want anybody to know he led the Mountain West in passing yards, touchdown passes, victories last year, Prater, because we've said this before.
Oh, yeah.
Doggy is one of the only ones you'll see in the Blameyer that is never wearing Boise State gear. He has his Birkenstocks. He has nice black kind of slack pants. He's got a wonderful green hoodie. And then I don't know where the hat comes from. Prater, no Bronco gear whatsoever on the QB.
GQ style, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
I mean, I personally just like the last thing I want people to be like is, oh, that guy's a football player, because there's kind of a stereotype around that, like I just mentioned.
That is cool.
But
yeah,
there are two kinds of people in the world, and Ballgame and I are the same. He's got 75 stickers of KTIK on the back of his car. I refuse to put bumper stickers on the back of my car.
He won't even put a bumper sticker of our show
I won't put
on
it on
his car. It's like, dude, it's our show.
No, it ain't going on there.
The
So,
Subaru Outback can't handle it. Or
and
whatever.
for anybody that says Maddux Madsen's not wearing the Boise State gear, he can't be a true Bronco. BS. I love and I bleed Idaho sports talk and KTIK for 25 years. He's doing the same exact thing. Some of us just don't like to put a bumper sticker on our butt.
I'm with you. If I was a starting quarterback at Boise State, I would have it tattooed on my forehead.
You would.
Right?
You would.
I would let everybody know I'm the starting quarterback at Boise State. Mad Dog, you got a new OC, a very familiar OC, Nate Potter. Convince everybody that this is going to work with him. And is he going to be in your ear? Have you heard anything, how that communication is going to go? Just where's Maddux Madsen on his new OC?
yeah, I mean, I actually am super stoked about it. I was able to find out before he even played, and it just had me fired up, because what people really don't know about Coach Potter is he was extremely involved in scheming for, I guess, game plans. The run game was completely him. And so moving forward, I know like Coach Potter's a humble guy to where he also is going to understand that like those people that like Coach Hill, Coach Miller, that have all this experience in the pass game, they'll help him in many ways. And it fired me up to know that it was Coach Potter, just because of the guy that he is. And he's a Boise State Bronco through and through. And that makes me like extremely excited.
I've always been a little skeptical, and I've said that on the show only because I just really haven't seen him here. Talking to Dirk Cutter last week, I mean, and I have all the respect in the world. I've been covering him since 1997. So when he says something, I believe it. And he gave a shocking review of how good this guy is going to be. In terms of play calling, how many times this year did he get in your ear until that 15-second mark in your helmet comm talking about doing a play? And maybe just talk about the comfort you have with him in terms of calling plays.
Yeah, I mean, are you saying Coach Potter? In my
Yes.
ear? Yeah. Coach Potter.
I mean, I know Cutter was the guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was a specific run where sometimes he would get in your ear. Or...
No, I mean, there wasn't very much communication. It was strictly just a play call from Coach Cutter.
Okay.
But I mean, I know Coach Potter's actually called like practice stuff, spring and summer. He would call stuff like plays. And so I've heard him in my ear. And I'm confident. I don't think, knowing Coach Potter, he's never going to be in a situation where he's unprepared for the task.
Zak Hill. I mean, he worked with a guy named Jaden Daniels we were talking about earlier today. We watched him with the Commanders. Now you get him as a quarterback coach, just a quarterback coach, no OC stuff there. What have you heard from Zak Hill, and what do you think is going to be different about having, and you know, I've seen what you guys do at practice, like the OC will be with the tight ends, the QB coach will be with you, and any changes there? Just your thoughts on Zak Hill, your new coach, and how that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's extremely different to where, I mean, I don't think very many people get to experience it, that my position coach actually isn't the offensive coordinator. I mean, most offensive coordinators are quarterbacks coach, but I actually am extremely excited for it, because it's in a way a step away from the offensive coordinator in your ear. And really, it's like your position coach that's got this awesome relationship.
I get it.
Yeah. And so that has me fired up. I know Coach Hill's awesome. I mean, I've been able to sit down and talk to him.
You have
like normal human conversations, which fires me up. And looking back at like the 3 prior coordinators that I've been able to work with, it's been awesome. I guess position coaches, I can't say coordinators, but Coach Hill, just like the maturity that I feel like I've grown throughout the years to kind of like talk ball and know the communication that's going to take to be like a good relationship between the two. I feel like it's helped me, and I'm extremely excited for it. I know that guy's legit with what he does.
Can't wait to see what you do.
Coach Cutter said you need somebody who's not Coach Cutter. And Coach Cutter talks about his limitations of being an older coach, working in space, the RPO game, so certain things like that. He said you need a fresh set of eyes, a fresh start. I don't know. You probably feel that because anything new is fresh and exciting, and let's continue to build, learn, and grow. But in terms of just a fresh start, what do you think Zak Hill, based on what little bit you know of him now, can give you that maybe Dirk Cutter couldn't?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Cutter was awesome with like footwork stuff of being a quarterback. I think Coach Hill himself loves to break down like the mechanical side of throwing. And I mean, I've been throwing the same for 21 years now, or ever since I've been able to throw. So that's a little different, and it's hard to kind of change that now. But just the hearing new words and like new terminology from different people has a big effect on me in general. Like taking as much from all these people, it helps me. And so I think that's more of like the fresh start to where it's new terminology, being coached in a different way. Is where I'm extremely excited for too.
If Coach Hill came to you, and maybe he already has, and said, "What's the number one thing you want to learn from me?" What do you think is the number one? What's the number one priority for you to get better this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, personally, we sat down and he made a cut up for me of things I did well and things I can work on, and it kind of came down to the simple thing of doing those, like sharpening up all those things that I feel like I do a really good job at, but sharpening up even more of the simple like action of carrying out a fake or like a consistent drop. Like those things are what I'm excited to get better at and kind of have someone with eyes on that elite focus to where like I can be coached and know that that's going to help me in extreme ways. But I also know that Coach Hill's one of the better coaches when it comes in terms of preparing too. And obviously, Coach Cutter was one of those guys that helped me so much the first time I was here and even last year in terms of preparing. And so I'm excited to get all this, like I said, it's just new, awesome, great stuff that's being thrown at me that I'm extremely excited for.
Maddux Madsen, Boise State Bronco quarterback, right here on Idaho Sports Talk. Say you said you and your girlfriend, you like to hang out on Sundays, watch movies and stuff. So you watch some shows, you know who some actors are. Like, what actor would you choose?
Here it comes.
What actor would you want to play the role of Maddux Madsen in this blockbuster movie about Ashton Jeanty? Where it's like, you're not a star, but you have a nice little role. Like, if anybody, maybe if your girlfriend's just watching, she can shoot you a text. Maybe I should ask her who she would want Mad Dog or who to play you in the big picture about the life of Ashton Jeanty.
I think if I had to choose someone, I honestly would probably do Adam Sandler.
Mad Dog, Sandler is a very, very gifted actor. I don't know if he can pull you off, man.
The humor that he's got, I think it would just add so much.
Okay, so he wants Adam Sandler to play the role of Maddux Madsen in Jeanty's movie.
I can buy that.
Or Will Ferrell. That would be good.
Well, I got one more quick one too, one more funny one, because you and all your brothers have baseball names. I mean, you are Maddux.
Don't forget the sister.
Cheater Madsen. And the sister, I'm not
Joe D.
Yeah.
Joe
for
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio. But if you are going to follow this same family rule type of thing and say whenever it is you get married to this lovely lady or whoever else, and you're going to go in this, hey, we name it's the Madsen family. So we name our kids at letter M, but they have to be from sports heroes. So I don't think you're going to go baseball. You're a football star. You're a 3-year starter at Boise State. You're going to name your kids, and Prater, I have a list.
Oh, okay.
Just quarterbacks.
You want a piece of paper to write these down, Maddux?
Just go back
I'll just
and
take
listen.
a picture.
Yeah, okay. Here are the name Maddux and his girlfriend. They're their future kids. Manning Madsen.
I get it.
Mahomes Madsen, right? Mayfield Madsen. Manziel Madsen. That's going to be the bad boy. That's the guy you got to watch out for. Manziel Madsen. And then, last one. I love this. Marino Madsen. I mean, dude, that's got to be in play.
It's a good list. I don't know about the first names of them, though. They might have to be tossed as middle names. Mahomes?
Mahomes. That's your first name. Well, you have a brother. You have a brother named McGuire. I mean, you have a brother named Murphy. I mean, Murphy is not.
Right.
Anyway, I digress. I digress.
Well, I'll ask one more quick football question. I do have another weird question for you, but I did want to. Life without Ashton Jeanty. I mean, I would imagine it's a little bit uncomfortable, but you guys are fairly confident. I mean, obviously the running back room isn't going to be a problem next year. We love the running back room, and it might be by committee, it might be sire, who knows? We'll see how it plays out. But how does this football team change off the field, in the locker room, on the field, games, practices? He's gone. Life after Ashton Jeanty, how is it different?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, you could kind of take away the level of leadership he brought. But I know through me and guys I've talked to, like, that's a role that we kind of got to step into, because I was able to see firsthand of the way he led and how effective that was for people. And I feel like I can step into that role. But I also think offensively, there's, in a ways, last year we were sort of one-dimensional. Obviously, not a bad thing because of the fact that,
it worked.
We had the best player in the country. That's not a bad thing at all. But I do think being a two-dimensional offense next year is going to help us and assist us in so many ways. But obviously losing Ashton sucks in so many ways. But it's one of those things that we kind of just got to know that we're going to deal without him and be confident in the guys we got, because the guys we got are the best for Boise State.
I know it's just a stat, but do you see yourself becoming a 300-yard passer on a regular basis?
I do enjoy throwing over 300 yards.
Yeah.
It's something that I would like to do every game.
Last thing for me, NFL team, you would love to draft Ashton Jeanty. Like, you're going to do cartwheels in your living room if you see this team drafts your boy.
I would be stoked just because of his sake. I hate the Cowboys, but I think him being in Dallas would be awesome. But I think for his success and where he's at, he's got to be somewhere better than that. Whether it's, I think, seeing what they do with Saquon, that's an Ashton Jeanty. The 49ers, what they do with Christian McCaffrey, that's an Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah.
I think that's, like, those things are what I look at. And I think that he can be successful with a good offensive line, and his career could go for years on years if he has a good, successful offensive line, I guess.
I want to ask you about your new home state, and you're from Utah. You know, I love that, but you're also falling in love, I think, with Idaho, and I love that even more. You're an outdoors guy. You like to duck hunt. You like to do all kinds of things. I think you drive a big truck. You seem like a guy that can mold his way into Idaho culture and thrive and love it. I mean, what have you fallen in love about the state of Idaho since you moved here from Utah?
Yeah, I've always said that it's close enough to what it seems to be like home, but it's far enough away from those things at home that it's new. And that's kind of what I enjoy about it. Like, being in a new spot with new people that are awesome and have, like, this incredible influence on me is such a big deal to me. But I also know that the people in Boise are extremely nice. Like, I could just walk around and have a normal conversation with someone I've never met just because it's a nice person. And so, I mean, Boise, Idaho has become a place to me that my first couple of years, I had a hard time saying it, but it's like, hey, I'm going to go home and I'm talking about Boise, Idaho.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so that's a little weird. It's different, but I do know it brings peace to me that I get to be in Boise, and the people I'm with in Boise definitely make it special.
I love it. It's Mad Dogs. It's Mad Dogs offense. Mad Dogs team next year. No more Jeanty. Obviously more weight on your shoulders. I think he's going to handle it just fine. Prater, we love having you in here, man. We hopefully come back in here at least once before the season, like in July or something. We can get you back in here.
Yeah.
We'll get you out to the Bronco Nation News golf tournament.
Yeah, there we go.
We need to get a pair of golf clubs back in your hands, because you're a big time golfer, right?
Yeah, I am a big time golfer.
Nice.
We have a couple of gifts for you: T-shirt, some stickers, some good stuff for
Let's
Madsen.
Looks like I can put it on my truck.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's an
Bumper
Ashton
sticker.
Jeanty sticker. You maybe do the Ashton Jeanty one. I'm not sure
Not
you'll
have
get.
you be.
Yeah, I got you.
No, thank you guys for having me on.
Hey, thanks for the time.
Yeah.
Thank you to David. Thanks to Boise State. We love this policy. Having done this show for 25 years, I don't know if we've ever had Boise State starting quarterback in January. And these guys have been spectacular. Boise State and Spencer, and you guys, and the time that you give to the media right now. We love it, and we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Great stuff. And that is why you listen to Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the Ballgame.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame, brought to you by Row Paint.